Hi, Daddy. What you doing?
You doing the regatta shuffle right now? Oh, a little sculling and scooping. Some conk style and thing. Well, let's go, Scully. Be careful.
Yo, it's your boy Dyson Knight along with Dr. Campazad and Ans in the building. What's up?
What's
How
going
y'all
on,
feeling?
family?
Hey.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. I just trying to figure out something now. I don't think we're streaming on Instagram, so let me get that going right quick.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's episode 13 of season 2. And I gotta say, this one gonna be a lot about Ans. I hope you're ready to answer some questions about this about this book. This diary entry.
Yes.
That you have published.
Mm-hmm.
It left me feeling embarrassed as a man. I know, and there's a lot to take. I'm talking about this book right here, ladies and gentlemen, The Nurse Diaries, Becoming a Nurse, written by one of our co-hosts here, Ans. And I know, Doc, you haven't had the opportunity to read it as yet, but this thing threw me for a loop as a man.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good, but I wasn't embarrassed, like, because of what I've done in my personal life. I was embarrassed because we try our best to try to get men to be real men.
Right.
And it always baffles me that we even have to go through this exercise, because I mean, like, why not? Why is this necessary? Why do you need your boys or your fellow men in this fraternity to continue to coach you to do what I think is so simple, which is
supposedly obvious.
Yeah, and obvious, and just man the. All right, so let me say what we're talking about. I will say it. I will bring you in, Ans.
Okay.
This book is about Anne's journey toward becoming a registered nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to do this. She had to overcome a lot of obstacles. Very storybook. I must say that the book reads very well. It was interesting. Once I picked it up and got into it, I couldn't put it down until I was finished. And she went through, how much of it can I just talk about it, Ans?
Sure.
I won't try to give everything away.
Yeah, don't give everything away.
Yeah,
but
I won't give everything away.
Yes.
But the key moments is that Anne's got into a relationship. And in this relationship, it was so funny, what you said down to the tail end of the book, of the entry, is that becoming a nurse was more of a holiday, per se, than to endure what was going on in the relationship. Mainly, okay, so let's talk to the man. Doc, you have a whole different career than your wife.
Okay.
Whole different, right? You don't.
True.
You are. Is there any part of your specialty that she is able to assist you with on the job?
Well, on the job, not on the job. No.
Nothing, right?
Not on the job.
So how is she a help to you, even though she doesn't have the expertise or the knowledge to be able to assist you while you're on the job? How can she be a help to you other than that?
Well, my wife helps me in two ways. And in a professional way, she helps me as a financial expert and accountant of that part of our industry that they don't teach us about, which is how to collect your money and keep it. Right. So she helps me in that regard.
And that's her forte, right?
That's her specialty. That's what she does. So I have the privilege of having full access to that for free.
Now flip the script on that.
Kind of free, kind of free. But
flip the script on that right quick for me. Meaning, how
me,
are you you're not an expert in that. That's why
I'm
she
not
does
an
it
expert
for you.
and I feel, and I got the only way how I help her in her business is again behind the scenes. And I would say that in times where she takes a full, she tends to what I call business plan everything.
Uh-huh.
Whereas what I mean is she takes she takes a business meeting approach to everything, and you can't always do that, and not everybody is receptive to that kind of approach. So I try to help her in those times when I think she's not getting the results she wants or the response she wants from people because she's business planning it too much. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
You can't treat everything like a corporate meeting.
Now I know you didn't really know where I was going with this, but I had to ask the question openly just to see if you were gonna give me a response that said, well, she can't help, or she doesn't help, or you can't help, or you don't help. You help however it is that you can. And what's the reason you think for that? Like, what's the purpose in helping how you can, even though you're not knowledgeable about any part of, she's not knowledgeable about being a sports physician. You're not knowledgeable about being an accountant. I mean, what is all right, fast forward. This relationship that is spoken about in this book, this one right here, is the lousiest, you know what? No, I'm not talking about the person. This is the lousiest example of help, because I don't want to talk. The reason why I don't want to talk about the person is because there are some beautiful children that came from this relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they are very proud of both their parents. But the exercise of raising your sons and raising your daughters per se, this type of story, we have to be vigilant about how we demonstrate what it is to be a significant other, a help to the person that your children love. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
A helpful person. And this is this relationship, you know what? Because I can't curse.
You know what? When we're talking about love or beauty, here.
It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen, where I introduce to you the one and only JP is in the building.
Yeah, let him get it out, please.
Yeah, I gotta get it out. So
what's going on, y'all?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Was that in the relationship, without giving too much too early, were you guys married, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you were married.
Yes.
Okay. So to me that multiplies the lousiness that Dyson is about to explain.
Wait, you have no idea? You have no idea. Oh, okay. Sorry. One, we're talking about Anne's book. I finally read it. Yeah, I had it for a couple of weeks. Got it hot off the press. It's probably one of the first prints. And the story, this is a diary entry. I was thinking like it's a full book, nobody. And I try to figure out where else she could go.
Oh, don't worry. There's more.
Ruckus, this is called the THEE Nurse Diaries, Becoming a Nurse. And I know it sounds, because that's one of the reasons why I didn't read it. It's like I'm reading this little I'm reading this little girly book, right? It's pink and all, right? So that's what I was thinking. So I took my time to get into it. But when I read this, bro, this revealed to me just how important a show and like the Sup'm show is, how important it is to have brothers like us. Not like we know it all, right? We still learning. We still live in this life, right? But it's important for us to see what we have in the world representing us, and so that we know, like, all right. Let me bring it back. Ants, I can turn it to you because
your book got him all fucked up.
Boy, this
That's
had me
just-
emotional, right?
you gotta read you gotta read
This
it.
had me emotional. This had me emotional. So Doc, what I was trying to say to you is that it's amplified and multiplied so far because Ans, from what I gather, correct me if I'm wrong, she didn't ask. This was not her plan.
No.
Like she was making the best out of a crazy situation, and she lost a lot of her support to go in this direction. Because come on, I mean, we talk about pro-choice,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You always have a choice with which way you want to go, and I think the way in which she wanted. Let's talk to Ants. Ants,
Okay. Yes.
what
you
was
got for me,
most?
Dyson?
Yeah, what was most important? Because that was just how I got in my feelings about it, right? But I don't think that. What was your intention in this? Because it's a small portion. It only comes up every now and again when she talks about her challenges. So it's not like this was trash talk against this relationship. So
Right.
what was most important for you to get across in this diary entry?
So what really made me want to do it, right, is sometimes people see you and they have no idea some of the things that you've gone through, right? And I've come across CNAs like nursing assistants and stuff like that. And many times I'd say to them, like, okay, so when you going back to school, when you gonna go to be a nurse or whatnot? And then they'd start giving me a list of all the things, all the reasons why they can't do it. And then I'd start telling them just a little bit of the things that I went through while on that journey. And then it makes what they're complaining about seem a whole lot smaller, right? So that was a huge part of it. Another part of it for me too was if you are determined, you can do absolutely anything you put your mind to. Truly.
Yeah. You
Truly.
can't say it enough times.
I mean, truly. And sometimes hardships are that extra fire to kind of get you to where you need to be.
Agreed.
Yep.
But
So-
I'll tell you one thing, Dyson. If you think this book got you like you on cuss, there's a part in it where I said I'm gonna skip a bit
because it
that
deserves a
made
book all on
by
its own. All right, gents.
Ken, Ken, time out. Not answer out of this one. This is what emotions look like coming from a man. Tyson Knight, y'all.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Oh man. Yeah, because I emotions make you sad sometimes.
Good for you.
God dog. But check it out, y'all.
Mhm.
If you how important, and I just asked a man this. We did some sessions where engineers came in, audio engineers came in and talked to us about family life, because I'm one of those persons, when I get into my work, I don't move till it's done. I ride the wave until can't ride the wave no more. So, but when I'm not involved, I play with the kids all day. That's all I could do that. Like I can clean the house and cook the food or whatever the case may be. But when you see me say, okay, I have something to do, I want to stay and I want to stick in that. However, and you tell me how y'all would handle a situation like this. If you have something important to do and your significant other also has something very important to do, how do you mitigate which important thing gets done if one of you has to sacrifice the important thing that you need to do?
Look at the consequences of if one trumps the other.
I ain't talking to you, aunts.
Oh,
I talking to the
sorry.
men.
Sorry.
Because here's the reason why I have to be an emotional man on the show today. See, they ain't emotional because they ain't read the book.
They didn't read it.
They they ain't read the book.
Okay.
I need to defend because I have a roast for you too, so I ain't gonna let you get away. Because I'm just trying to make sure I have some foundation for when I start roasting you. So this is why I'm asking these questions.
Say rock,
So
paper, scissors.
how do you decide who sacrifices what they have to do for the sake of the other person as a man of the house, which is the title of our show?
I can only talk from experience. There was a time where, for example, my wife had to move to the other side of the world. This is early in our marriage, 5 years, maybe five. No, sorry, not 5 years. Maybe about 8 years or so. She had to move to the other side of the world to progress her career. Switzerland, far, far, far. And I had to be man enough to let her go do that because I know it's going to benefit her and it's going to benefit us. And man enough to maintain myself while she's gone. So, but at the same time, to answer your question, it wasn't like it was, okay, I need her to sacrifice for me. So we didn't have to choose between my sacrifice or her sacrifice per se.
Okay.
But at the same time, because we never had to make that decision simultaneously, if you know what I mean. If you're going left or if you're going right. But every time that she had to sacrifice, or every time I had to sacrifice, I made it. Every time she had to sacrifice, she made it. And I think that's important in a marriage on the whole. Now, as far as choosing which sacrifice is greater, that's a tough one. And I think it comes down to the individual relationship where you gotta really look at where you are in the relationship, where you're trying to go, and what can be managed right now. That's what I think.
Let me calculate something right now. Let me see.
We're bringing a calculator for that one.
Yeah, let me calculate this thing. Yeah, I think I write with these numbers. But you ain't helped me at all just now, Doc.
Yeah.
How do you decide if you have something important? You as a man, you work for yourself. Me and you both work for yourselves, right? But you have a whole business. You both have a business. You both have staff. But we're talking about you because you he can't build in bodies and keeping bodies together. You making sure people don't slip and fall and crack their neck and thing by making sure that the floors are safe. No jagged edge. How do you decide
what's more important?
Who in essence, what the other person has to do is important enough for you to make the sacrifice. Who should sacrifice if you both have something important to do?
Well, and this is one of the few times you'll hear me say this, right? My wife enjoys me being the breadwinner. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So she automatically falls in the position that when it's time to make a decision, she would push mine to the forefront. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
But if she has something, damn, this way I asked me to explain it, even let me finish.
Go ahead. No, I'm not stopping you. Go ahead.
You know what? You got to take that book away from the center, bro.
No way. Leave my pink book alone, babe.
Anyway, but even so, though, on her side of things, if she has something that's important to do, she can just go ahead and do that, bro. Like, I don't really tune into stuff what she has to do, to be honest. But
what he asking you on is if you had what if what she had to do requires you to sacrifice what you do daily.
But I could, okay, like you said at the beginning, Ken, I only can speak from experience from my particular situation. I could afford to sacrifice what I do daily because I don't have to be on the job 24/7 to keep things rolling, if that makes sense.
Right. And Dyson, I think you're asking the wrong question, bro.
Help me out.
I don't think that's the right question because it can't be an automatic, like in every situation the woman's supposed to sacrifice for the man. Like that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense because everybody's situation is different, right? So I like to see what she's saying here about communication is very important. So in your relationship,
no, I can't take it. Sorry.
yeah. In your relationship, you gotta communicate, and hey, let's say I I don't know, go hang out with the boys. And like she said here, she has a meeting at 9 o'clock. So I got to cancel my meeting with the boys. Okay, I canceled my meeting with the boys. That ain't no big deal. If it's just more serious thing, like say I need to sign on for some conference meeting or something, but I could miss it. So
Yeah.
because I got to take care of the kids because she has a whatever, something else that's going to bring that's more important per se. That's not a problem. So again, I think it comes down to the relationship and both being willing to give that 100% from both so that you end up in the best situation possible. Sometimes you got to give and sometimes you will receive. That's just the way it's got to be. But
Let me
communication is key to that.
Yeah, let me say hello to Azaria, Fee, and Candy. Y'all, thank y'all so much for joining the show. And I don't want y'all to hold the show against me because obviously these dudes them on side, and I have to play devil's advocate and roast Ans to pieces. So I mean,
I'm
because like I
ready.
said in the beginning, that
Mhm.
everything you all say, it only makes sense. But let me see if I could get into the mind of the other side
Okay.
and
We will, Rick.
say, I like how no one is stating the obvious.
What's the
Yeah, oh
obvious,
yeah.
Marcus?
You gotta check out. Y'all go check out the book. I could try this anyway. I could try to leak some, but y'all go check out the book. If a man has something to do,
Mm-hmm.
and the man is being the leader, and the man is expected to lead, then
Mm-hmm.
how is he ever expected to make the sacrifice for the sake of what the woman wants to do? Shouldn't she always be following his dream and his goal?
Nah, bro. Sometimes that's leadership. Sometimes that is leadership.
Explain that to me. I don't understand.
Me neither. I don't follow.
Sometimes it is leadership for me to sacrifice whatever it is I feel I need to do because what she needs to do, I know will be better for us in the long run. So if I need to sacrifice what I need to do so that she can do what she needs to do, because it's going to benefit us in the long run, I'm gonna make that decision as the man to sacrifice whatever it is I'm sacrificing because it's the
What
right
would
thing to do.
okay?
Just like the
Okay.
captain goes down with the ship. I mean, like that's your responsibility as a leader.
I disagree a little bit on that.
Thank you, Jesus. Go ahead. Go ahead, Juan. Go ahead, Juan.
Listen. I ain't going down with no shit, bro. Listen, in my way of thinking, me and Kent, we disagree on this a lot. We know each other over 30 years, and we go through this all the time. If that ship ain't worth going down, I ain't going down with no ship just because it's the ship and I'm the captain, buddy. I'm telling you, I dunking that boat over the side of the
Okay,
big ship.
that's a bad analogy. I would do the ship analogy. The ship analogy is bad. The ship analogy is bad.
It
The
only
point is,
depends on exactly what I'm sacrificing here. Because if I gotta constantly sacrifice to pull anybody up, but every time I sacrifice to pull them up, the results ain't showing. You understand why I'm sacrificing for this particular situation? I ain't sacrificing shit. I don't care who it is.
all right. Let me try to restate this a second. Give me a second, Nathan.
All right.
Let me restate this 1 second.
Go ahead.
Now, forget the ship. Forget the ship.
Okay.
This is the real life situation. So let's just say. Let's use the example, kind of like Ants, and let's say I want to go back to school to do surgery. To get us to do surgery. I was in surgery, but let's just say I want to go back to school. I suddenly want to be a neurosurgeon, right? And that is the dream I have. I expect my wife to support me in that regard, and I expect that she would support and sacrifice. As far as sacrifice meaning, she got to take a lot of time being with the kids. I'm going back in hospital life, so I'm going to be on call. And a lot of things are going to change. It's going to get a little harder because she's busy and we're both busy, and I'm probably going to be in the house anymore. So that's her sacrifice on her end, and for me to attain what it is that I'm trying to achieve. But let's just say it comes around again, and okay, I got my surgical degree. Now I want to get a what they call what they call in the UK a mistership, right? Which is beyond fellowship. So I want to go back again, and I want her to sacrifice again.
Uh-huh.
Do I expect her to do that? Yeah, no problem. I might expect her to do that. But let's just say now she wants to do something. She wants to. Okay, I want to go back to school and get my doctorate in finance because she has a master. So I want to get my doctorate in finance.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So some compromise should come in there because I don't necessarily need the mistership, right? I can wait. I can let her get her doctorate degree. You understand what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is we have communication and we achieve some type of balance. You sacrifice for me, I sacrifice for you. Ain't no ship going down anywhere, right? We don't plan for no ship to go down. Every decision we make is all about the ship getting bigger and buying more ships. That's what the decision is all about.
Yeah.
So
let me can I interject here just a little smaller point? At what point, right? And I understand we always strive for more and the mission's never complete. I get that. But at what point does dreams and aspirations expire? Anybody ever think about that? When I say expire, I'm talking about at what point do you be content and be like, you know what, I did X, Y, and Z, and I'm good now. Because you can't keep expecting someone to keep sacrificing over and over and over for whatever it is that you or the next person trying to achieve. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, life has to smooth out and take its course after you've already done this stuff. And for me personally, sacrificing and all this other stuff. For me personally, that is an age limit on that. I ain't saying you're not. Hold on. Before I get all in your feelings, relax now. Like everybody
The doctor getting like this. I would know what the doctor getting like this.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is this: listen, if you 60-something years old, it don't really make no sense you going back anywhere for no doctorate degree or nothing. That don't make no sense. Everything has the age limit on it, man. Everything has the age limit. I understand getting yourself. I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. But at what point do you say to yourself, like, you know what? I just wasting time doing a bunch of shit over and over, trying to better myself over. At what point do you sit back and say, you know what? I really accomplished. I'm satisfied. Now it's time for me to live life.
Yeah.
At what point?
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. You got to be reasonable with and that's to me. I thought that's what Ruckus was talking about when he said no one is mentioning the obvious, which is to me the obvious thing that we ignore the most is what are you asking the other person to sacrifice? And a lot of time we don't consider what you're asking the other person to sacrifice. You just expect them to sacrifice it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be fair and say, yeah, I want to do this. But what exactly does that mean for my partner? What am I asking them to do, and how do they feel about that? Right. So that's what I thought he was getting to. So I think you have to consider that because we don't talk about that.
That is what I was.
So let's be honest. Ain't no woman won't be watching kids for the longest, right?
They only need 18 years to grow up.
But
it ain't forever.
We in 2025. These kids ain't even house till they 40-something years old.
But
and you know what? I'm okay with that.
To this cutoff point, though, if you're 65 years old, shouldn't the kids be at the house? Like, shouldn't the sacrifice be less?
Absolutely. But at some point, what do you say to yourself? Like, I'm 65 years old. I already make a good living time. When you chill and relax and live life.
I mean, to me, at that point, when you're 65, that ain't gonna bother me at all. You want to go off to school, go ahead. I get chill. We shouldn't have no kids in the house. Our finances should be on point or whatever. Hopefully, at 65.
Life throws a bunch of curveballs at you when you least expect it.
True.
So I just talking from that perspective. I get where all y'all come from. So Big JP ain't trying to disagree with nobody. Okay, I love everyone. Y'all relax. Shit.
Aunts, and I can call us sneaky aunts.
You go what?
Thank you, Ruckus.
Sneaky aunts. That's what I can call you, aunts.
I don't,
Wait,
I don't
sneaky
care.
aunts wasn't.
I'm rappers.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Candy got hers already.
Fuck Colonel Sanders, man.
Sneaky aunts wasn't 60 yet. She was barely 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me
What you
tell you
call her?
what sneaky,
What you call her?
sneaky
Why she
aunt.
sneaky?
Oh man, you gotta buy this
In
book. I want
this book, sneaky aunt who was tiptoe.
I can download that tonight. I'm not a
Listen
touch.
to me.
Right now.
Sneaky aunts who was
Goodbye, right now.
tiptoe in the
Drop the
wee
name in the
hours.
chat.
Oh yeah, in the wee hours of the
What?
morning.
What?
Let me type. I can't type in the wee hours, boy. This
I get
like
all
this
the
like
respect
this like
and I-
robbery. This robbery home invasion hours aunts tiptoeing out the house, bro.
Yes.
What?
Tiptoeing out the house
You know
before
what?
anybody wake up
Oh gosh.
exactly to go
You know what?
follow in her sleep, to go follow her dreams. Like what dreams you have? You was a married woman with kids. What dreams your dream is to breastfeed.
Oh my gosh.
Your dream is
Whatever it is.
to mash up the peas and make baby food. That's what
Uh-huh.
your dream is. I don't understand how you could have a dream like you was some kind of Martin Luther King after you then marry.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Let me drop.
Period.
I tell you, I have to be devil's advocate in here because y'all.
Okay, here we go.
Let me drop the name. But would y'all be okay? Okay, so and that's one of the roasting things too, because we talk about communication, and I don't know if it was I don't know if you did a good job, if it is the case where you communicated in this book,
Yeah.
but for me, you kind of just hinted that you needed assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, I mean, you did, no, I lie. You did right out say, hey, I need some assistance.
I literally, yep.
Yeah, you literally did say it, but you ain't say it.
Yeah.
You ain't say it with your chest. It didn't seem like you said it with your chest. It said to you like,
So but I will tell you why.
okay. So we have to reveal. Tell us about that part of the book, Hans.
What? Tell me. What part
The
specifically?
your sneaky part, the sneakiness.
Okay.
Tell us about
So, all right. So in this part of the book, we had a sick kid, right? We had a sick kid who we knew needed at least one day away from school. Okay. He never missed work. I mean, never. That was always priority. If the kids were ever unwell, I would be the one that would stay home. Now, the same day now that the kid needs to miss school, I have a test that I have to take. If I miss this test, I will get an automatic F, and that could cause me to fail my class. If I fail my class, I could flunk out of nursing school. So I say to him, I cannot miss this. This will be the one time you would have to miss. He says, no. So I got up before the sun came out, snuck out of the house, sat in the parking lot in a freezing cold car with no heat, a thick coat, and went over my study guide while I waited for the campus to open.
Candy, if that ain't sneaky, what that is?
Because here's the thing, if he missed a day of work, someone who never misses work, they'd probably be looking like something has to be wrong because he does not miss. If I missed that test, that could have ruined everything. Sensible. Thank you. That's what it is. Sensible. I mean,
she say reasonable. Talk to me, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Dyson.
Diagnose that for me, please.
Oh gosh.
Schizophrenia.
Okay, so let me join Dyson's side for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Yes. Roast this gal, boy.
Just a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Because and this is also, I think me and my wife have clashes on things like this, and I think a lot of relationships do. Um, absolute. I try not to say the word obedience, but anyway, I guess because that word is offensive.
It is.
Obedience. Absolute
But
obedience.
Hold on, wait.
Listen.
Press
Y'all,
mute, Dyson. Press mute. Hurry up. Press mute.
y'all better have absolute obedience. Now continue.
I'll give him this.
I really try not to say obedience, right?
I gotta bring the crickets out for you.
But I've got to say, if you chose this person to lead you, you should follow their lead, whether you think it's ridiculous or not. Um, I think when you do things like that, it's good for you, but only for you. And that can be perceived as selfish, or it can be perceived as an attack by your your significant other. So you have to be careful with that, because even if you do it because you feel like you have to do it, because think about it, how much years did it take him to achieve what it is that he achieved of not
None.
missing work?
Oh, sorry. Wait.
No,
Sorry.
of not
Go back.
the achievement of not missing work, like that's a proud achievement. That's a proud achievement.
Right.
So
That
second week
means
on the job.
that means your job trumps everything else.
no,
And that means mine does not matter.
but think about it though.
Yes.
How long did it take him to achieve that? And can he get it back?
What do you mean?
No, it's gone forever. That
Okay.
he never missed work.
Right.
That's
But
a
what if-
big deal.
Right. But now, devil's advocate, what about my job though? What about the amount of
No,
time
you ain't had a job. You didn't have a job yet.
Yes, I did. You need to
No,
read
you-
the book. You need to read the book.
You
Yes.
said you said you were taking an exam.
Sorry,
Yes.
just help it out. See, to explain it in a bit more detail.
Okay.
Help me out.
I was working
Balance it out.
full time as a nursing assistant from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then I would get off work, go home, get the kids washed up, fed, take them to school and daycare. Then I would come home, get ready. Well, not even come home. I would go from there and I would head to class. After I came from class, I would come home, get stuff ready for dinner. When he got home from work was when I took a nap in preparation to go to work again, 11 p.m. That was 5 days a week, while also going to school 5 days a week. But anytime the kids were unwell or needed anything, I would always be the one that missed work. So in that scheme of things, I saw it as I'm always the one who does. This is the one time.
But honest, let me ask you something.
Please.
That's a beautiful picture right there, bro. Anyway, honest, this is even more beautiful. So, in your situation back then, right? Who was the breadwinner?
We both were.
What do you mean people see you both were making money equally? 50-50?
Well,
Okay. Let me rephrase.
you gotta read, man. Okay, but come on.
If you had lost your job,
Yes.
would he have the ability to keep things running without you? Household wise.
No.
Okay, well, what I about to say, just scratch that. Then. Go ahead, y'all carry on. No. Well, I will say this though. I will say this, and me and Ken, we talk about this all the time too. But this is just me speaking here personally for myself. I always encourage men, in particular, to strive to be the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, she will respect you more. Now, I ain't saying you won't have arguments that couples have. That happens. That's life. All right? But 9 times out of 10, when you're the breadwinner and you operate correctly, you don't have to demand respect. It comes automatically. This is why I don't subscribe to the whole 50-50, 100. I don't subscribe to none of that.
Well, you might
I
throw
gotta
up when you read
I,
this book.
I gotta do more. I gotta do more on my behalf, right? So when things don't go the way it's supposed to go, then the ball can still roll. You understand?
So I have a question for Dr. Kent. So now that
Mhm.
you have that bit of information, now you say, how could he get it back if he missed? You said I wasn't working, but now that you know,
Mhm. No,
what are your thoughts?
the point I'm making is maybe it's not that significant an accomplishment. I can't speak for him,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
For him, it may be a huge deal. It may
Yeah.
be his life's achievement that he never miss work. You
Oh,
understand what I'm saying?
yes.
So all I'm saying is when we ask a person to sacrifice, we need to consider what we're asking them to do. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because it could be nothing to you. It could be nothing to you,
So
but it
here's
could
here's what
be a
I'll
big deal to them.
here's what I'll say. I will say that it's obvious that I saw it as a big deal. And I say that because every other situation where I needed to be there for our kids, I was there. Never asked him to miss. I just automatically did it. So to me, it was like, okay, I don't ever ask. I don't ever want you to miss, but
What type of
can
job was it? Let me ask.
that he was doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, managing a, oh gosh.
store manager.
No, yeah, he was a store manager. Let's just say that he was a store manager.
Okay.
He's
So
he's
so
like it's nothing. Yeah, yeah,
No, 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 no,
it's
definitely
funny
not.
though.
No, definitely not.
no,
He was
because
the assistant
because
manager of a store. He was the
because
assistant manager of a store.
this is not what we're talking about today, right? This is not what we're
Not
talking about. This is not what we're
lowballing.
talking about today. But I'm just saying a lot of men, and we were going to get to this point eventually, right?
Oh,
They
that's
car
what it was.
wash.
A detailing.
They car wash. So we,
But
we,
that's
we were
both
going to.
of them.
Come on, man.
I believe
Man,
I
y'all
believe I believe we would have got to this point eventually, right? But I
Oh boy.
feel but I feel like you know uh, you gotta you gotta
You know what?
okay.
Dyson, I honestly wish
being
JP
emotional
and
right
Dr.
now.
Kent had already read the book before we did the show today.
I try to
No,
read. I read
no,
chapter one
because
right now. I'm trying to get to chapter
You
one
want
right
to?
now.
the show
I'm
is
reading chapter
the
one
book is
right now.
pink,
I'm I'm
right?
at I'm at I'm at the Mercury Mountaineer
Oh,
I'm here about the parent. I'm reading through it right now. I
But
just got
y'all,
it.
y'all making it so hard for me to be the devil's advocate
I'm reading it
because,
right
like
now.
I say, common sense will
oh.
tell you, bro. Common sense will tell you that if you have, oh my goodness, it was a car wash, and I mean, big up the car. They make good money,
It was
especially
a
if you
car wash.
if you
It was
if you
actually a
if
car
you
wash.
Mhm.
if you a professional car detailer.
Hold
That's
on,
a
hold
that's
on, hold on, because that changes everything. Was it a car wash?
man, he ready to slam this thing on the floor.
Was it
Anyway,
actually a car wash?
he was the assistant manager of a store, y'all. Let's keep him.
If it's a car wash, then that ain't a big deal. He could
Well,
have missed work. If he was a if he was some
Hold
kind of
on,
corporate
hold
job,
on. No, no,
that's a
no, no,
different
no,
story.
no,
If
no,
it was a
no,
car wash,
Get him,
no,
JP.
no,
Get him.
no, no,
Hold it
no,
down for the car
no,
wash people, yo. Huh?
no,
if
Get
it's
him,
a
no.
car
JP.
wash, is a different story. Car wash will
You
be in,
can't
you could miss a
I
hey,
can
day.
mute your mic. Doc, you getting muted. You
hey,
mute,
hey,
Doc.
you can't take back what you just say. You just said that it might have been important to him. It don't matter what the job is. He could have been a janitor for the bathroom in McDonald's. It may have been important to him that he don't miss work. So being a car wash, whatever the fuck he was, being a car wash, whatever, to him it was important. I just said,
I let me apologize to Hans. I mean, because I know this is quite overwhelming, but but I ain't gonna lie. Like, I get it.
Dr.
Like,
Ken,
even if it
Dr.
rained, the
Ken,
inside of the
I
car
don't,
would still be clean.
hey Dyson, Mr. Dr. Ken, I don't care about car wash business facade.
It wasn't no big deal. It is a big deal. The car wash is a big deal. However, you know what? Let me switch. I devil's advocate no more because I can't. I can't do it no more. I mean, one, you said some. I think was it one? You said something about respect, and I didn't see it as a matter of respect or disrespect. I saw it as a matter of. I mean, when I'm talking about um, respect or disrespect in terms of being the breadwinner, if you're the
Mhm.
breadwinner, you'd have more respect. I feel if you are a helpful person, you will get you. Then the respect is due.
Facts.
If you are in it so that your relationship can be stronger, and I think Doc kind of spoke to this. Is it going to benefit the relationship? Do you want to be manager of? Okay, let me ask you this, Ans, because this how
Okay.
and you because you sneaky, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Let me ask you this: if this dude did miss work and somebody had to live in a dirty car for another flipping day, and you got this nursing job and you got this big bump in salary, and he decided that he wanted to open his own car wash with his own buckets and soap and towels and rag and scrub and brush and thing, would you have taken that extra money you had that he helped you to get and invested in his business?
I'll trump that. When I was done with
Oh, boy.
school, he wanted to become a realtor. So I said, great. My first check, we can pay for you to get in. He says,
Mm.
I don't want your money.
What?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
stop. Why did he say that? Why do you think he said that?
Probably the same reason why anyway, that's in the next book. But
Yes,
I don't,
stick to
I,
why do you feel he said that?
why do I feel he said that? I
Yeah, why do you
Yeah.
think he
feel,
said that?
truly, I feel like he said that because he felt some
Mhm.
type of way that I was now making more money than he.
And stop right there. And this is why I made the point before we got to this point that
I get
men
you.
must strive to be the breadwinner.
Oh, no, no, no. How about this? How about men should
Mhm.
strive to just be secure? How about men
No,
should strive
because it
to
ain't enough
know
of
that?
us.
Pause, JP. Hold on. How
Go
about
ahead.
men should strive to be okay with
No.
multiple incomes? How about men should strive to
Mhm.
look at us as one? Because for me, I saw it as if he gets this realtor degree, he could do this,
Mhm.
this, and this. That would add to
Right.
us. That's how I saw it, but he saw it as, oh, that's my money. When I'm looking at it as that would be ours.
You can't listen. Okay. Let me try to break down the way how most men think. Not all.
Oh,
Most.
okay.
Okay.
Yes. Let me hear you.
Not all. The thing is this, right?
Hmm.
And my brothers may agree or disagree. But we as men, right? We don't like to depend on your significant other for anything.
Right.
That's
That's true.
just natural instinct,
Sure.
right? Not because
Right.
we can, not because we should, not
Period.
because you have it or whatever.
Yes.
But the thing is
Yes.
this: sometimes we feel as men, right, when we rely on you guys to help us through the struggle, right? You then look back at us and feel like we was inferior versus us trying to get it on our own. It's just a man thing. I don't think he didn't want to accept your money because that's your money, get out of here. I didn't think he meant it from that perspective.
That's
I
because you
just think
weren't there.
so you think
Okay,
that's what he meant?
Oh, so
no,
let
no.
me, okay, so tell me what this
Benefit of
is
the
then.
doubt.
Hold on,
Benefit of
hold
the
on, hold
doubt.
on,
Go ahead.
hold on,
Mhm.
Dyson. So
Yeah,
I
go
want
ahead.
JP to tell me this one then. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Um, we live in North Florida. Let's just say it should basically be in Georgia. And it got really cold up there, okay? I was the one who usually had our kids.
That's a lot, by the way.
And anyway, and and that's fine. I dropped them off, picked them up, so on and so forth. Now, mind
Hmm.
you, w- we had I had a car.
Okay.
The heat in my car did not work. Okay. He had a newer car than mine. The heat worked.
Yes, it does, Fever. Go ahead.
Now, anytime it would be cold, I would have to bundle the kids up extra
Mhm,
warm because
mhm,
the heat didn't work in the car.
mhm,
I spoke with him towards the end of school, just saying that I really need a different car. The rear view
mhm.
mirror was gone. The window to the driver's side didn't go down. So if I had to
Yeah.
go to a drive-through for anything and it's raining, when I open the door, I'm getting wet with stuff coming inside of the car. You know what I mean? The bumper in the front was hanging. It was a struggle vehicle, okay?
Okay.
Now,
It's a,
his
it's
vehicle was a
a
vehicle
skateboard.
that was not struggling. And I mean, I'm happy for him that he didn't have a struggle vehicle. But
Mhm.
in my mind, the kids should
Yeah.
ride in a more comfortable vehicle. Anyway, so fast forward now. Hold on now. Hold on. So watch this. Watch this, Shawl. So I go to him and I say to him, I really think I need a different car. And I'm listening to reasons before I could even finish listening to reasons. He says, "Oh well, I ain't paying for it." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't ask you to pay. I'm just saying I think we need a better car." So right after I'm offered my very first nursing job, I was talking to my mom and she said, "Aunt, just go apply and just go see." So I'm like, okay. I go, I get approved to get a brand new car. Um, no miles on it. The only miles I got on it was the ones that when my test drove it, right?
Nice.
I'm happy now. Get the car home. It's comfortable. My kids, booster seats fit, blah, blah, blah. He goes with me, mind you. He goes with me to get the vehicle. But watch this, y'all. He would not drive it.
Your
Because that's
car?
your
He refused to drive it. After that
water.
car came home, he barely spoke to me. I didn't know why. He was extra
Oh
snappy. I didn't know why.
man.
But watch this. When I spoke, I remember I went to see his mom, God bless her soul. And I said to her, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I did wrong. And she pointed to the car and she said, this. He
What?
was on the insurance, Ruckus. He was on the insurance. But she pointed to the car and she said, this is the reason. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. So,
How is
Oh
it that
my
she knew?
god.
How is it that she knew?
how was
How
it
do you
that
think
she
she
knew?
knew? Yeah.
I just think she knows him, that she knew him. That's the only thing I could come up with, or I don't know.
Do you
But
think it's
I
Remember,
because women? Do you think it's because women from that generation think differently?
Oh, yes. And here, but I don't even know because I'll say this. After I was dragged across the floor by my hair by him, and I went to her because I called her, that was the only reason to make him stop.
stop,
She,
stop, 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 stop.
hold on, JP, wait a minute. She said to me, now, Ansley, ain't that much good men out there that'll stay by after
My wife,
getting
my wife
pregnant,
pumps gas, bro.
So that's a good man. And I just stood there like,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
some bull. That's some bullshit.
Oh,
That's some
okay,
so,
okay,
bullshit.
okay.
Now
so
y'all see what time it is, right?
Now I'm going to play
That's some
devil's
bullshit.
advocate here. Hold on. I'm going to play devil's advocate here now. Right? Now, I'd ask you to go into full details about what led up to that point, right? But
right.
can you honestly
Hmm.
sit here
Yes.
and say that he just come on one day and grab you by your hand and be like, come on, let's go across the floor?
Oh, no. I was walking away from an argument and he didn't like it.
Okay, stop.
Yes.
An argument, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning the
No,
action.
I
You
want
But
you
you
to
did
can't.
ask
wrong.
me. No, I want you to ask me
All
because
right?
listen to me. But
Go ahead.
this is why I feel like some people, I don't want to say they're demon possessed, but some people are just
Uh,
what?
you say what? You got 7 minutes. Now,
Okay,
once again,
talk to me. Come
I'm
on, let
not,
me admit. I'm okay with
I'm
accountability.
not, I'm not saying that
Hmm.
the action he did is right. So I don't
Yes.
want you bitch ass dudes in the comment
No.
section talking about
No.
shit. You said it's okay to do it. It's not okay.
Right.
All
I
right.
get you, Ruckus.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Did you
Mm,
play a role in getting it to that point?
not an ounce. And let me
No.
tell you, let me tell you,
Just ask it.
not an ounce,
Okay.
not
All
a
right.
drip. And
All
you
right.
see the way I'm speaking to you guys now,
Mhm.
whenever he was upset and spiraling, I would be talking exactly like this. I never went there. And
Well, you
then,
know what that is? You know what that is?
what is that?
I'm going to tell you what it is right now. Me and
Okay.
Kent, and we always say this all the time.
What is it?
That is the prime example of a weak motherfucking man.
Oh,
Yep, that's Brother
You
Sim.
understand me?
Okay, on that
Now,
note,
now, when I say a weak man, right, that is a man that can't take anyone disagreeing with him,
nope. So you better
okay?
speak. Yep.
Can't take anyone questioning him.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, notice how I don't even know the dude.
Nope.
And because these things are synonymous
yeah,
amongst men like
characteristic.
that. You understand?
Oh,
He's
yes.
probably to the point that he feels inferior because you was advancing in whatever you were looking to do and he wasn't.
Yeah.
So that way itself got him upset. And the reason why he never did anything like that for the kids was not because he don't care for the kids. That was just to spite you.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
we
But,
we
know.
that,
we in
but
we in
that's a
twen-
weak
we in
man.
hindsight now.
Oh, yes.
That's
Oh,
a
I
weak
know.
man.
Yeah.
That's a weak man.
Okay.
We
Let's
don't
pull
have
this
to
back.
do that around here.
Let's pull this back because this whole show, and I knew it was gonna get like this, um, in the Nurse Diaries, and the next booking could be Pinky.
But look, Dyson. You
Wait,
know
see,
what?
mine black and
That
white, bro. Mine
that's
Yeah,
black
let
and
me
white.
let
seeing
me get my
Kindle.
Kindle. Let me
Mine
get the
black and white.
Kindle up. Let
But
me do
here's the
that.
thing. That's a prime example of do not judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Do
mean, it's
not.
so much more I want to say, but we almost out of time. But I have to admit, this was a very good read, and I appreciate how real and true it is, how honest it is. I wish to read the Car Wash Diaries one day because I got to hear the other side. I,
You thought you can't read.
oh, Lord have mercy, hallelujah. But yeah,
They
but
can
no, I
call
don't.
me. They can call me an elitist. Listen, I don't give a damn. If you're a manager of a car wash, that ain't no big deal, bro. Stay home. That ain't no big deal. I'm
Hold
sorry,
on.
that ain't no big deal. You, I
But
would give
wait,
you.
better off.
I would give you. I would give you. Hold on, man. I would give you. Look, listen to me, man. I would give you. I would give you manager of maybe a Walmart. Okay, to say you don't want to miss days. You don't get no benefits from not missing days at a freaking car wash. You don't get no benefits. You don't get no retirement benefits for that. Bullshit. It's for your kids.
Oh boy.
Stay
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that
Sorry.
and that's
I'm a
that's
leader.
okay.
Sorry.
So now I back in the Sup'm show now as Dyson Knight, ladies and gentlemen. I have to agree 1000% with Dr. Kemp Azad. I agree 1000% with what JP is being saying. And that's the reality of it. This thing should go with
So what about us? You don't agree with us?
Aunt Sneaky. I gotta wait till the next. I gotta wait till the next diary entry. I can't. No, but
Dyson,
tiptoe in the wee
you gonna
hours of
need
the
a
morning,
drink. You gonna need a drink for the next one.
bro. I appreciate how you thanked a lot of people in this book too. I thought that was honorable, and I think people need to hear that. And I would have wanted the man of your life to be one of the persons who you thank and play. Y'all need to read this book to even understand that even still he get a thanks.
Yep.
Even still this boy get a thanks and he did
Ooh, car
not
wash boy.
deserve car wash
Y'all
John.
are horrible. Why are we like that?
Car wash boy. First name car wash, last name boy.
And-
Car wash boy again, son.
no, but I'm never gonna hate on anybody's hustle,
No,
right?
John, what he's doing now.
Yeah. and they were young at the time.
Yeah, we
and
were.
and I would hope that not only has he moved on from the car wash job, but he's also moved on in the maturity to be able to understand that the things that which you give to the world, nobody you can't take back and nobody else can take back. Like what you put
Right.
in, even whether
Right.
you get the gratitude and the respect for it or not, doesn't change who you have made yourself out to be. And I think that's what's most important, babe. If you want to say you is the man, I don't care how people talk to you, who they say. Once you know you legit, it just stopping. It just stopping you. But I want y'all to watch episode 11 when we spoke a lot about staying on your purpose.
Yeah.
Man definitely got to stay on your purpose. But a part of your purpose, I mean, at least the Bible say that the woman is supposed to be to help meet, but you supposed to love your wife like Jesus loved the church.
Yeah.
And that means, yeah, that means it's a give and take. And when there's an imbalance there, I mean, what type of snooty little snotty nosed child?
That means get in the kitchen, make me a sandwich, wash those clothes, and clean the house.
And then I would keep the sick child the next day. That's exactly what that means.
Yes, I'll stay home from the goddamn car wash.
Yeah.
Take care of the children.
That's what that
Yeah.
means. Let me stop.
And anyway, we then over an hour in time. Ants,
Hey.
just tell everybody once again where they can get your book. I really wanted to get this in under an hour, but go ahead, please.
Okay, guys. So y'all
And
can
when is the
find
next book
my
coming out?
Probably this summer, because I've already started it. I've
Fantastic.
already started it. So this summer, the second one will come out. You can find it on Amazon. It's in paperback and it's on Kindle. So both options are there. Y'all can check out the reviews. The reviews so far have been great. But yeah, get it, support it. It's a good read. It's a quick read. It's an easy read.
Yeah.
The Nurse Diaries, Becoming a Nurse. And I'm so happy though, Dyson, that you were able to show the feels that it made you feel, because I think when people see the title, they think, oh, this is about nursing. It's really not.
Just
You
pissed
know,
me off.
It's like really not.
this book pissed me off, babe. This book pissed me off.
Oh
I
my
join this.
God.
I could give this to the library or something because I can't keep this in my house. Anyway, this has been episode 13 of season 2, the Sup'm Show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We will be here next Sunday. Make sure you hey, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, we were going to talk about the shop. God, take it easy.
Guys, I won't be on next week. I'll be out of the country.
So give him his time, Dyson. Give him his screen time real quick.
You better. So, ladies and gentlemen, I won't be on next week. I got things to do. I gotta maintain this. Y'all know how it goes. Next week after next, and I'll be here. I love you guys. I know you guys love me. And that's just what it is. Because you tune in every week to see, not Dyson, not Ken, not Hans, me. The Sup'm Show.